We're going to do a breakdown for my match footage from the River City Open. Right, I do recommend watching the match video first. It's going to be a lot clearer. I'm going to be jumping through a lot of stuff. So this stage here, I had a mic on this clamshell. Now, if we have a look at the first person, I don't think I transitioned off this too early or anything like that. I think I just probably sent one over the top. I just flung 2 shots at it as fast as I can, worried about the clamshell coming up, and just wasn't locked into a spot, so the gun didn't return. The gun doesn't look like it removes too early for me. Now, the plan here, I was very happy with. What I did here is after I took the popper, while waiting for the clamshell to come up, I took a big step. And what that meant is I had plenty of room to shoot this popper. What a lot of people did is, like, say they tried to shoot the double stack first. They didn't prioritize the movement. This was an extremely wobbly bridge. It was very hard to move the same way it already moved once you planted all your body weight, especially with a lean already. So there was like one guy had like 2 alpha on the clamshell, but then he lost like 4 or 5 seconds because he wasn't far enough over to shoot the popper. So like he had to take like a big step when your weight was already shifted that way on your right foot. So you almost had to do like a cross step to get your weight off that, or you just had to do a really hard lean. If we go next stage. So this was the bobber stage. So I tried to prioritize a big side step in my walkthrough. You can see on my draw that did not happen. So what that meant was for this target here, we'll go first person. For that target right there, oh shit. For this, sorry. So for this transition there, you better watch here. You can see that wall's pretty much acting as hard cover. Like I wasn't able to see enough of the alpha and I was kind of like aiming away from it. So on that target here, if we go draw, if we can imagine that's a per for the A zone. The 2 shots from the Charlie like that. So quite a good group. But I just didn't take a big enough step, so I was kind of like aiming away from the alpha zone because that wall was pretty much acting as hard cover. Now for the rest of the stage, if I can go back to it, that shot there, you can see I overswung the gun here. That's actually perfect frame for it. I just swung the gun because I didn't think I was going to have enough time, and this kind of surprised me. I had a delta hit. It was almost a mic, like it needed to get gauged to see if it was touching the perf or not. And then also, I never thought about moving through the middle here. I plant and get pretty static. So I was 9.8 seconds for this. The fastest dude was 9 seconds, and he just moved through here. Right, the stage here, 2 biggest issues I had with it is, now the footwork was pretty important to get correct in these 2 corners here because you're shooting partials with a hard lean, but you can see how long it takes me to get my gun up. I should have already been pre-aiming, so I lost a lot of time there. Like we'll play it from here. You can see that like I'm already in position. And then, it's time to get the gun up. See, like that there. Now, I had a total of 3 makeup shots in this stage on partials. 1 in each corner and then 1 in the middle. None of those were needed. The makeups were 2 C and an A. So on one of the targets, I made up an A with an A. So I was really annoyed at that. It was a bit of like poor confidence in my shot calling. And then on each of these, I wasn't happy with wasn't really familiar with the sight picture is a better term because the sight picture's on a hard lean to shoot those partial targets. Right. We'll go through this. This stage, I was fairly happy with the aggressiveness and the movement and the unloaded start and all that. It was just sloppy points. One of those deltas was this entry here. It was the first or second shot on the first mini that I fired. I can't remember where the other one was. Right. Now, this stage here, I don't really know if I had the right plan for this. Actually, it's probably easier. Yep, so it's easier to see in the first person. So you can see I go 2-4, and then I do this transition here. You can see I could have shot it from the other fault line or the other area. What my logic was that's 2 extra positions, and you can't really shoot them while moving because you're going to risk breaking the 180. So you still had to shoot them static, even more or less to a certain extent, even if you're on the other side. So I had 6C on this stage. 3 of them were in this array right here in this frame. The first target I shot, the top right, was 2C. I believe they were on the left hand side of the target, and they were like an under transition. If those targets there were clean, I would have been more or less happy. And then I had 1 makeup on steel. I did 3 reloads, even though it was a 32 round stage. I did 10-6, 10-6. Just the plan. I don't know if it was the best plan. If you went up the front first, you were at 6 and 6. You could have done 3 reloads, but I thought this kind of made sense of the movement. It was the most like straight liney kind of thing. But I don't know if that was correct or not. The stage here. So this is 12 rounds unloaded start for steel. I said if I kind of lost count of my makeups, if I had makeups and I lost count, or if I had like more than 2 to do a reload. You see this first target here. The unloaded start I was happy with. But if I have 3 shots of that popper, the clamshells are all A's. And you can see I have another makeup here. So I had lost count of how many shots I had, and this is also I've had 3 makeups now. So I do a reload and I completely fumble it. You can see it here. If we go here, I fumble the reload. The mag slips in my hand as I go to insert it in the gun. So you can see I kind of waited there as I was already in position. So I fired 15 shots. So unloaded start, I only had 15 in the gun, so I would have gone to slide lock. So it was definitely the right call doing the reload, but I just fumbled it. Right. This stage here, strong hand. Really sloppy points. Now, you can see, so that middle target, I fire 3 shots at it. All 3 of those shots are deltas at the bottom of the target. So yeah, just pushing the shots. I called it, but I didn't actually correct the mistakes that were of pushing the gun down, whether it was to trigger or the grip. I'm not actually 100% sure, in all honesty. But yeah, so there was 3 shots to that target, and all 3 were deltas. Now, this stage here, this was not my worst stage of the match percentage-wise, but it was a stage I was most annoyed at. So first of all, I was debating. So I drew the rope and then tried to hold it in my support hand. So I had a regular grip. I should have just pulled the rope and just shot it strong hand. You can see as I pull this, watch how much the wall moves. So that's directly correlated into my sights on my target. Now I had 3 shots at that bottom target. They're all alphas, but they're all vertically dispersed, in a line up and down. So yeah, that was just how much it was moving. And then I have, if we go to first person for this, really sloppy points. You can see I think I had I had a makeup on paper. Then I think I had 6 makeup shots on this stage, which that's 3 seconds right there, and then 9 Charlie. So I was really annoyed at it. The steel, I just don't think I was picking a good enough spot or a spot at all, and I was I was just shooting the general direction. I think the front sight was a little bit out of alignment with the rear, and I was shooting a little bit high. So yeah, this was the stage I was most annoyed at. If we go right, so this stage here, this was a cool stage. Again, like the strong hand stage, identifying I have a mistake, but not actually fixing what's causing that mistake. So this first target here, I have a poor draw, and I fire 3 shots at it. All 3 of those shots from the Charlie, they were all on the left-hand side of the target, I believe my left hand my support hand on the gun was just kind of slacking. And then, so I double Charlie that target, and then, oh shit. I also double Charlied this target here. So you can see, oh no, so we go paper, activator, double stack. I fire 3 shots at that. I transitioned to the wrong spot of the target, and I knew it because I had the makeup, but I didn't actually start looking or aiming in a different part. So that kind of presents like a swinger. So if we go drawing, this should... So like almost like if that was a swinger that was on its way up, if this is the alpha zone, you kind of aim there to trap it. That's pretty much where I was aiming. Those three shots, those three dots, that's pretty much where the shots were. If this is the Charlie zone, that's the A. That's where those three shots were. They were a really good group. I was just aiming in the wrong part of the target. So this stage had 6 C and 4 Charlie were on 2 targets. If that was fixed and they were all those 2 targets were double alpha and I had 2 C and the rest of the target array, I would have been really happy. Right. So this stage here I don't have any first person video of, unfortunately. You can see I go, this is a double stack here, and then I go activator, and then I go for the swinger. I did not think it was worth trying to go activator double stack, A, because it's a double stack, and B, because of the width of the transition. One of these deltas here was on one of these swingers. I can't remember which one it was. I called it as a late shot, so I knew it was not the best. I thought it might have even been a mic, but I just decided it's not worth the time to wait for another pass. And then I kind of forgot that I needed to reload. I reloaded a bit later here than I meant to. And you see the gun's kind of a little bit late getting up. Now, most people finished in this position here. I shot a double stack that was right here. So how this stage worked is, if I get my pen. So, it's basically a triangle. And this is a wall, this is a wall, this is a wall. Double stack, double stack. Most people started about here and shot this double stack. Now, if you shot this double stack, because of this wall, you couldn't actually see the second double stack till you're about here, roughly in my start position. So you still had to take a step here, and I took that step there. I don't really know the scale, I didn't count it out or anything like that, but I just figured that kind of made sense for me, especially for the reloads, because that was 11-11 instead of that would have been 14-7, and that's 14 with a steal and a swinger at the end, not at the start, so you didn't have to, but anyway, so I just figured, like, even if you started here, where most people are like, you can't actually shoot this array here until you've taken a big step, and I just took that big step there. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. I didn't see anyone else shoot it that way. Maybe it's because I shot it wrong, but that's just kind of what my mentality was. Right. So this obviously, you can see 2 mic on a short course. This was my worst stage of the match. So mentality, you can see there's a swinger there behind hard cover and a no shoot. I could not really predict the... I struggled to predict the trapping point of that, and it was too fast to track. Now, what my plan was fire 3 shots of that, have alphas on everything else, and make up for any dropped points on that swinger with the time. None of those things really happened. I thought if I'd fired 3 shots at it, I would have at least had 1. And also, I had kind of lost track of how many shots I'd fired at that point. So, and I didn't want to go run dry on these 2 targets here on the left before I had finished shooting. Sorry, I didn't want to like run out of shots because my mags were on a table. This is a table start stage. So that was the mentality. Obviously for 2 mic, that was pretty poor. 2C, not part of the plan. Right, so if we go this stage here, this is the last stage. I had 2C, each of those will go first person. Each of those was on the, I think they're on the left side of the Charlie on the top partial. Now you can see here, biggest issue of this stage, I go paper, paper, activator, swinger. So you see I'm late, and I have to wait for it. So that was a lot of time. The fastest dude was like 10 seconds. I think he went activator, paper, paper, and then he ran for it. He had a mic on the partial, and then he was like really late to the swinger, so he Charlie doubted it, and actually when I watched him I thought it was a mic. I thought it was too late. But yeah,